Shephethaim, also known as Judges chapter 15. But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest, that Shimshon visited his woman with a kid, and he said, I will go into my woman into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in. And her father said, I truly thought that you had utterly hated her, therefore I gave her to your companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray you, instead of her. And Shimshon said concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Pelishtim, though I do them a displeasure. And Shimshon went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go into the standing grain of the Pelishtim, and burnt up both the shocks and also the standing grain with the vineyard and olives. And the Pelishtim said, Who has done this? And they answered, Shimshon, the son-in-law of the Timni, because he had taken his woman and given her to his companion. And the Pelishtim came up and burnt her and her father with fire. And Shimshon said unto them, Though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter. And he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam. Then the Pelishtim went up and pitched in Yehudah, and spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Yehudah said, Why are you come up against us? And they answered, To bind Shimshon are we come up to do to him as he has done to us? Then 3,000 men of Yehudah went to the top of the rock Etam, and said to Shimshon, Know you not that the Pelishtim are rulers over us? What is that you have done unto us? And he said unto them, As they did unto me, so have I done unto them. And they said unto him, We are come down to bind you, that we may deliver you into the hand of the Pelishtim. And Shimshon said unto them, Swear unto me that ye will not fall upon me yourselves. And they spoke unto him, saying, No, but we will bind you fast and deliver you into their hand. But surely we will not kill you. And they bound him with 2 new cords, and brought him up from the rock. And when he came unto Lehi, the Pelishtim shouted against him, and the Ruach Yah came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Shimshon said, With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramoth Lehi. And he was sore athirst, and called on Yah, and said, You have given this great deliverance into the hand of your servant, and now shall I die for thirst, and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised? But Elohim clave a hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereof. And when he had drunk, his ruach came again, and he revived, wherefore he called the name thereof En Hakkor, which is in Lehi unto this day. And he judged Israel in the days of the Pelishtim 20 years. Then went Shimshon to Gaza, and saw there a harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazathiim, saying, Shimshon is come hither. And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, In the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. And Shimshon lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city and the 2 posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of a hill that is before Hebron. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Pelishtim came up unto her, and said unto her, Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lies, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give you every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Shimshon, Tell me, I pray you, wherein your great strength lies, and wherewith you might be bound to afflict you. And Shimshon said unto him, If they bind me with 7 green cords that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man. Then the lords of the Pelishtim brought up to her 7 green cords which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, The Pelishtim be upon you, Shimshon. And he broke the cords as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire. so his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Shimshon, Behold, you have mocked me, and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray you, wherewith you might be bound. And he said unto her, If they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak, and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes, and bound him therewith, and said unto him, The Pelishtian be upon you, Shimshon. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he broke them from off of his arms like a thread. And Delilah said unto Shimshon, Hitherto you have mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith you might be bound. And he said unto her, If you weave the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, The Pelishtian be upon you, Shimshon. And he woke up out of his sleep, and went away with the pin of the beam, and with the web. And she said unto him, How can you say I love you, when your heart is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times, and have not told me wherein your great strength lies. And it came to pass, when she passed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, There has not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazir unto Elohim from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and be like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Pelishtium, saying, Come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Pelishtium came up unto her, and brought money in their hand, and she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said, The Pelishtian be upon you, Shimshon. And he awoke out of his sleep, and said, I will go out as at other times before, and shake myself. And he knew not that Yah was departed from him. But the Pelishtian took him, and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. Then the lords of the Pelishtium gathered themselves together to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their Elohim, and to rejoice, for they said, Our Elohim has delivered Shimshon our enemy into our hand. And when the people saw him, they praised their Elohim, for they said, Our Elohim has delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, Call for Shimshon, that he may make us sport. And they called for Shimshon out of the prison house, and he made them sport. And they set him between the pillars. And Shimshon said unto the lad that held him by the hand, Suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house stands, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Pelishtium were there, and there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women, that beheld while Shimshon made sport. And Shimshon called unto Yah, and said, O Adonai Yah, remember me, I pray you, and strengthen me. I pray you only this once, O Elohim, that I may be at once avenged of the Pelishtium for my 2 eyes. And Shimshon took hold of the 2 middle pillars which upon the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and of the other with his left. And Shimshon said, Let me die with the Pelishtium. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. Then his brethren and all the house of his father came down, and took him, and brought him, and buried him between Sora and Eshtaol, in the burying place of Manoach his father. And he judged Israel 20 years.